heard all kinds of reasons why my idea would not work. I had lost my status in life. People in the United States ask you when they first meet you, it's the first question they ask, what do you do? And I went from saying, I'm the Director of Business Development for Microsoft's Greater China region, at which point they would nod and they would ask for my card, to saying, I deliver books on the back of a yak in rural Himalayan villages, at which point I was left standing next to the chip dip alone with nobody to talk to. Nonetheless, I declared my own moonshot goal. I declared that by the year 2020, we would reach 10 million kids across the poorest parts of Asia, Africa, and Latin America with access to books. I was told that was hubristic, that was arrogant, that was impossible. Yet 9 years later, we put 5.6 million books into the hands of 3 million eager young readers in 9 countries across Asia and Africa, including India. We will reach 5 million, thank you. We will reach 5 million students by 2010, and we'll reach 10 million not by 2020 as I predicted, but by 2018. We'll hit our moonshot goal 2 years early. All because my team did not listen to those who said we could not do it. Wendy Kopp, one of my heroes, and thankfully who's become a dear friend, launched Teach for America amidst a Greek chorus of experts who told her why her idea would not work. She was only 22 years old. She'd never had a real job. Her plan was not perfect. She did not have any experience recruiting teachers or working within a school system. And now, 17 years later, after she dared to launch an imperfect solution, she sees 25,000 of the nation's top college graduates scrambling and competing for one of the coveted 3,700 teaching positions available. She did not listen to the critics. So what I say to all of you graduates is listen respectfully to the critics to see what you can learn from them. But, and this is important, do not let them paralyze you. Do not let them create that deer in the headlights look, and do not let them stop you from following your dreams. Nobody has veto power over your life, nor should they even think they should be allowed to. In life, it's important to remember my favorite Chinese adage, which I learned when I lived in Beijing, which is this: those who say it cannot be done should not criticize those who are actually doing it. Or my other favorite quote from Voltaire: nobody ever erected a statue in honor of a critic. They erect statues in honor of the builders, not the critics. Fifth, you'll never know what's possible unless you dare to look beyond your borders. The United States population of over 300 million is just under 5% of the world's population of 7 billion. So if you only understand your own country, you're not getting 95% of the bigger picture. 1 in 5 human beings in the world today is Chinese, and 1 in 5 is Indian. So you should travel there. You should ask questions of people you meet who are from there. You should study maps. You should read books, because if you don't understand these parts of the world, the 21st century is going to thoroughly confuse you. Go. By all means, go, 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 go. Fill one passport and then fill another. Go to Brazil and dance the samba. Take the Trans-Siberian Railway across all 11 of Russia's time zones while reading Tolstoy and Chekhov. Watch the sun set at Angkor Wat and watch it rise in the plains of the Serengeti. There's a plane leaving tonight. There's a plane leaving tomorrow. You have to book your seat because nobody's going to book it for you. But get out there and embrace the world, and it will embrace you back. Sixth is that you'll never know what's possible unless you take the long-term view. Doing something significant in life, as my co-honorees have done with their lives, takes time. There are no quick fixes. If it was easy, it would have been done by now. Doing great things can take time, but great leaders persevere. They stick to their true north. They let nothing get in the way of eventually achieving their dreams. One of my heroes, Nelson Mandela, began fighting against the scourge of apartheid in South Africa when he was a young man. And it was not until Mandela was an old man that he walked out of prison and walked into the bright sunshine of a democratic post-apartheid South Africa. But Mandela persevered, and today he is a hero to billions of people around the world. If you've not read the book Playing the Enemy, you should, because it tells us more lessons on leadership, grace, humility, but ultimately perseverance and tenacity than any book I have ever read before. Seventh, and the penultimate piece of advice, is you'll never know what's possible unless you constantly seek out knowledge. Being educated is not something you achieve at a fixed point in time. It is a lifelong journey. We live in a world where the only constant is change, and that change is accelerating rather than decelerating. There is more information in one Sunday edition of the New York Times than the average caveman had to take in during an entire year of his or her existence. You can know everything there is to know about a piece of technology, and 3 years from now, if you've not kept up, 90% of that knowledge will be obsolete. So my advice to you is simple. Read, 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 and make it a lifelong habit. Finally, you'll never know what's possible unless you dare to take some of your good fortune and share it with others. And it's too early right now to tell all of you that, because you're just starting on your careers, and many of you are looking for jobs. So I'm going to address my final point to the adults in the audience also, that none of us will know what's possible unless we dare to share our good fortune with others, and not in a small way, not in a Band-Aid way, but in a way where it actually starts to hurt, and we actually feel like we're making sacrifices. We who are here today are amongst the luckiest 1% of the Earth's population. It may not always feel that way, but it is true. Many of the things we take for granted, clean water running out of our taps, sanitary toilets, cupboards and kitchens and supermarkets full of food, the rest of the world would kill to have these simple pleasures that they consider to be unattainable luxuries. We grew up in a place where our governments spend tens of billions of dollars to invest in our education. Those systems may not be perfect, and they may have their own unique problems, but I hope that none of us will ever forget that in the developing world, 300 million children wake up every single day, and they do not put on a school uniform, they do not walk to school, they do not sit at a desk, and they do not learn. I believe this is a moral failure of our world to have 300 million children not going to school each and every day. We can do more, and we should do more. On the other hand, all of us, and I include myself, have won what I refer to as the lottery of life. By an accident of history, we are born in a nation that is full of freedom and full of opportunity. And now on top of that, all of you have received a degree from an excellent and well-respected university. My whole point here is not guilt. Having grown up in a Catholic household, I've had my fair share of guilt, and I'm trying to avoid it. My point is simply that I believe in the adage that was taught to me by my absolutely wonderful and dear parents, whom I so love and respect. To whom much is given, much is expected. So in conclusion, you may never know what's possible, or you might, or you will. And I hope you will, because the world is full of all kinds of interesting opportunities, great people, amazing experiences. So to all of you, the graduates, I say good luck, have fun, dream big, and Godspeed. Thank you very, very much.